Hello, Stuart's 89. Well, Dune opened in the American box office and it did around $41 million for its opening. It opened around 4,125 theatres, so I don't know if that's good or not. I was expecting more. I mean, the only estimate I'd heard was actually 40 million, but it just doesn't seem a lot when you've got other films opening with 80 or 90 million dollars. So I don't know. I'm hearing that it's not doing well, and that being on HBO Max as well has hurt it because a lot of people might have just watched it at home. So I'm not sure, because a lot of people are saying how much of a hit it is and talking about that amount like it's huge, and apparently it's Warner Brothers' biggest opening since The Joker. But compared to other films, like I said, that have opened at 60, 70, 80, 90 million, it does seem a bit low considering that it is a very big, expensive budgeted film, 165 million. When you try and sort of estimate, and that's before marketing, so whack another 100 million on there. So say at least $250 million, that's got to make a lot of money to break even and actually be profitable. So I'm not sure how well it's actually doing. Now, it's got a bit of criticism for being slow, long. Some people are saying it's boring. There's no action. It takes a long time to build up. Other people are saying that it actually is a great build up if you look at it as a trilogy, and it's sort of the opening establishing sort of part. And that's part of a problem sometimes with planned trilogies. They kind of sacrifice the first and to a lesser extent the second films, because you can't sort of have a big sort of conclusion at the end of the film. You can't have a lot happen because it's just the first part of a trilogy. So I don't know if that's hurt it or not, but the original Dune I found to be quite slow and so forth, and the novel itself isn't exactly Star Wars, so I think the audience knows this, so I'm assuming it has been fairly well received on that level, but I'm not sure. Now, the film has a bit of criticism for being having a bit of a white savior issues, so I'm not sure how that comes into play. When looking at breakdown, I heard Movie Math talking about the breakdown being 55% Caucasian and 70% male, so that's kind of high. It sounds like it doesn't really appeal to people of colour and women as much, which is something that you need to get a lot of numbers and a big box office. So a lot of people are sort of praising the film for being true to the original source material, but that might be alienating on some levels. So if you're just making it for the fanboys and they're happy, it's not really going to help if no one else goes to see it. So, I mean, and the other thing is the staggered box office, the opening. It opened in the UK or around the world, international markets, on September 15. So that's like 5 weeks and 2 days before America. I don't recall hearing an opening being that far apart. Usually I'm assuming they're going to be a week, opens internationally 1 week and then America the next week, or maybe 2 weeks, but 5 weeks? I know it certainly allowed a lot of time for pirates to get copies out there. Apparently they're really good quality copies, so, and you can also stream it on HBO Max, so a lot of people might just be seeing it at home. And the other issue, of course, is the length. It's 2 hours and 35 minutes, which makes it harder, not just for people to watch it and harder to draw people to it, but also you can basically not fit as many screenings in a day. So because you've got a 2.5 hour runtime, you're basically going an hour longer than your average film. So over the course of the day, that's a whole bunch of screenings that you've missed out, that you've lost money for. And that's always a concern with movies. They're always trying to make them shorter for that reason. But I'm really not sure. I'm really not sure if it's doing well or not. 40 just doesn't sound big enough of an opening. I was expecting more, but other people are saying that's basically on target and what they're expecting. So I'm really not sure, because the rest of the box office, of course, it made $182 million internationally before it got to America, and it's made 223 worldwide. So that's pretty good. I mean, most of the people criticizing the film are Phantom Menace people, and they just want to talk about Venom 2. Now that only made 352 million, so that's made less than Shang-Chi, which made 421 million, which they're basically acting like it's a huge bomb. So maybe it's not exactly objective. to some level with with the critics of it. So I'm not sure why they wouldn't like it though. So I don't know what's happening. I just know it made 40 million. It's made 223 million all up, and it's like Warner Brothers is happy with it. But I think HBO Max has heard it. A lot of people might have just stayed home because it's kind of a long, slow film. But I find longer films are easier to watch in the cinema than on TV at home because I tend to get distracted by things around me, whereas in the cinema you're really concentrating on it. So I really don't know. But I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you think. I wasn't huge on the other Dune films. The first one only made $30 million back in '84, and they're all a bit slow. So there's miniseries and other things. It's a whole franchise, so I'm really not sure. I'll have to watch it and make up my mind when I see it. But we'll see how it does for its second weekend in the US. I'm going to go. Bye.